It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Yes, I know this is for some people, I know a lot of people who are new and tuned in right about now, who actually ask you, oh, how do we log in? Do we need to put it? Oh, did you need to put in your email address?
No, I just put my name and then it was just there.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people I don't know where they went, but they're being asked to subscribe and all that fun stuff. I'm like, I don't know about that. But anyway, let's get right into it since we're running out of time and behind time, 17 minutes late. I would like to welcome each and everyone who's actually listening right now. You're tuned into Tough Love Giggles on your number one online radio station with your host, aka the hype lady, Miss ThandoAmy, holding it down. And look at this girl; she is actually laughing with I want don't chipo changu nini want to get started chipo chako. So I'm But anyway, for all our new listeners, would you like to bring our listeners up to speed with your upbringing and a little bit about your background? Who is Ruva? Because Nasin Ruzati, we have new listeners actually in the chat Zotari Sakuti whereabouts, but I know mostly in Canada. Now you go to me, oh, how do we log in? How do we log in? So here we are.
So my name is Ruva. For all of you who don't know, if you're a real true what's it called, After Five Radio veteran, you already know who I am. For the newbies, my name is Ruva Rashe, aka Ruva.
Uh-huh.
I am. See, before I used to say I'm a gospel artist, but I think now I'm just an artist. I'm just a
This
vessel that the
is
Lord chooses to
this
use.
is the reason why we're actually here today, because like nah, I know a
The
lot of people.
rebrand is serious.
Yes, the rebrand is massive. I was the first to ask about it because, of course, you sent the song to me. I was like, oh, yeah, listen to it. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, oops. But yeah. And I was like, huh? I thought I was going to hear God, Jesus, Lord. But yeah, girl. Okay, we're going to get into that. But seeing that you're not new to the scenes and have been doing music for a while, how has been your upbringing influenced your music for our new listeners? Because they do not know. And the footy, they're not even ready.
Well,
Wow.
um, I mean, like as of recent, music has became my choice and my passion. But honestly, I was born into it. Like in the womb, I think I could hear my parents singing because that's how they met. They're both singers, and I grew up Seventh Day Adventist, so a cappella music was really big in the 1990s, and I guess still now. But
In the 19th.
they met at church, and then they were singing in an a cappella group called Glimpse of the Golden Morning. Shout out to Harare Kambuzoma. But
Ah,
yeah, they met,
and the
and
Shagakfita. So it's okay.
everywhere they went, any music events that they had to sing at, weddings, funerals, everything, they would take me with them. And it was one of those things where it's just even my grandparents, my aunts, like it's a family thing. So that is how my upbringing kind of shaped me. And then, a cappella music and then being exposed to that kind of thing. And like, how some people sit with their families in the living room and they crack jokes. For us, it was like, okay, I'm singing soprano, you're singing tenor, and you're alto, go. And if you're off key, you had to keep singing until you sang the right key. So,
I used to,
yeah,
that
that's kind
reminds
of
me.
how
That
I got
reminds
into
me
it.
of your dad, yo, when we're still in youth. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, sir. Thank
Go
you, sir. Ha
again,
ha.
go
I
again,
want
go
to be
again, go again.
ah, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
No, I remember that, yo. When we're still a part of the Methodist youth group. So, guess who's now singing at weddings? No, I'm
Me.
just saying. I'm just saying. I got to experience that myself. Ain't that your father's
Yeah.
footsteps or your parents?
I have to carry the torch. And honestly, I don't
Mhm.
even think it's my parents. Now it's kind of something that I'm really, really passionate about. So I think
Mhm.
they equipped me, they set the foundation, and then now I'm just like trying to run with it.
Right. And so, young lady, you've been awfully quiet for quite a bit. Tell us about that. Hmm. I can
right?
knew because the power vodka with the bang out of gospel out of it's like you were trying to figure yourself out. It's like I don't know. Like I don't know. Tell us.
You know how I told you how like I grew up with music being like a family thing. So I think from a young age, I was always kind of told who I was, what I was supposed to be singing, who I was supposed to be singing with, where I'm allowed to sing, where I'm not allowed to sing.
Mhm,
And I was like, my music career and my sound was being dictated by my parents, community, the people around me. And that was a lot on me. I don't know, this is Kuchirungu, we call it imposter syndrome. But I felt like, I'm
Okay,
living this
tell
life.
Africans. Kuna imposter syndrome. Kuna inonzi abuse when you're told what to do when you don't want to do it. It's like, oh, you're abusing me, and then goes that imposter syndrome. And they go, tell us some of these words.
No, so the imposter syndrome, it's
Mm,
like, you're given an identity, but that's not the truth of who you are and what you're living and what you're experiencing. But
mm,
because of the pressures of society and your environment and, the things that you're surrounded with and the things that you get involved in, you feel the need to keep up that image. So you
mm,
do that, but it's like you're drowning in like, please just let me be myself, please. But it's like, you can't because there's that guilt of like, okay, if I go against the grain, like this is game over, my life is over, like nobody's gonna take me seriously. Like realistically, nobody's gonna take me seriously. So I was
right.
trying to
Yeah.
be something that I wasn't. Not that I was trying to be something that I wasn't, but I
Well,
was
you were actually
it
trying to
was
be
other
something that you
people's
weren't.
it was other people's voice. I was
Which
literally
exactly brings me to a question of authenticity. You understand?
mhm,
Where exactly what you're just talking about right now. Look at Whitney Houston. Look at
mhm,
Beyonce. They all started
mhm,
in church, right?
mhm,
Until they
mhm,
decided, okay, this is my voice. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about, right?
mhm,
Let's talk about the power of authenticity. For you to decide and take, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And keep in mind, we have our African parents who have this whole thing. I don't know about your parents,
mhm,
where
mhm.
some parents have this whole I was gonna tell you, hey, you know, like all
Yeah.
church. You understand?
Yeah.
All they know
Yeah.
is church. And right about now, we live in a totally different world. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a
Okay.
totally different world.
And
Like,
what actually made me kind of have this rebrand and like sit and really think and come out and go against the grain and be like, what I'm doing is not a bad thing. Just because I'm not
mm,
saying, God, I love you, I worship you every single minute
mm,
of the song.
mm,
This is what my turning point was. So I recently found a home church and my pastor
mm,
did a youth service one Sunday. And he was preaching a sermon about how, as young people in our generation now, it's hard to kind of find balance between the Bible and us, and
mm,
how
mm,
our parents try to push that, like the Bible says this, the Bible says that, but he said, no, we need to think about context. The time that the
mm,
Bible was written was for the people of that time. Yes,
mm,
the word still applies to us now, but we are living in a totally different context. And now the
mm,
word needs to apply to our context. And the
mm,
most important thing that he said in that sermon was, you have all been graced. God has given you gifts, but the only way to win souls is not in the four walls of this church. Some
mm,
of you have been gifted with businesses and, the gift to cook and
mm,
paint and do other things. And that is still worshiping God so long as you are spreading a positive message, you're bringing people together, and what you're doing is coming from a place of love and
mm,
it's not spreading hatred. So I think that really made me shift my perspective on, okay, yes, I could be a gospel artist. I love gospel music. That is my identity. That's who I am. I love Christ. I could go do whatever I do, but I'm gonna make sure I'm in church. I'm making sure I'm praying. I'm doing what I'm doing to serve the Lord. But at the same time, there are other souls to be won, or there are other people who need that love that aren't going to be in the four walls of the church. So those are people at weddings, people at banquets, people at business summits. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
So that really made me shift my perspective and be like, do you know what? If I want to make music that makes me feel good and makes people feel good, and I'm just kuchuka mono,
mm,
and I'm just expressing what I'm going through, then I still feel like God has still ordained me and called me to do that. It just doesn't mean that I'm going to be, you know, labeling myself as a gospel singer, because I get invited to sing at weddings, conferences, you know, gatherings of all different types of scales. And the one thing that I always do is people always leave with a smile on their face, or
Mhm.
being like, do you know what? Like, it really made me think of a time in my life when I was at this and this and this. So that's how I can confirm and know that, like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is who I am. And I'm not, what I'm doing is a good thing. It's not
Mm.
a shameful thing. So, yeah.
And one thing that's important, I'm still growing,
Mm-hmm.
or not. You're still growing,
Mm-hmm.
and I am learning about. I've heard this before, as in, okay, well, of course, before, but I've heard a new version. We all know that there's usually, back in the day, they used to say two sides of every story,
Mm-hmm.
but now they say three sides. It's your truth, my truth, and the truth, the actual. No, no, no. Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
This is one version. And then I sit down with a pastor last week, last Thursday, and he was telling me about three P's: your public life,
Mm-hmm.
your private life, and your personal life. And that personal versus, we say private. Personal versus private is, the personal is your relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Because
Mm-hmm.
these people who claim to be, oh, hallelujah. And even the word says it's not everybody that says God, that's going to enter the kingdom of heaven. Of course.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? And like you're saying, people have different talents. I have a
Mm-hmm.
talent of talking. Talking, I was going to talk about. Asuka ngokrosa line round, of course, unotokwa. Wait, but but vanhu vane zvipo zvakasiyana.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be in the gospel industry, or it
Yeah,
has to be, oh, God, every second. God knows
yeah.
what's in your heart. God
Mm-hmm.
knows how you're going to be able to touch Amanda's heart,
Yeah.
right? And I am glad to go to where Gwagazu decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But how was your support system getting out of gospel? Seeing that your parents have always been in gospel, and then
Mm-hmm.
you are deciding, okay, this is me. This is how I'm going to touch people's lives.
Do you know what it is? Honestly, I'll give it to my parents. They were very supportive. Before I even did better and all this kind of stuff, my dad was already talking about sing R&B music, and I was like, I'm not an
Here,
R&B
here,
singer. I don't want
here.
to sing
Are we
R&B.
talking about Mr. Isaac Muzeka?
Yes, like yes, he wanted me to
Uh,
sing
uh,
R&B music, and then
uh.
my mom is very much like, "Girl, when
No,
it
your
makes you
mom is
happy,
so
I'm
liberal.
so proud of you." Like
Exactly.
she just loves to see me sing. So whatever I'm singing, my mom will be whatever. But do you know who was my biggest barrier? And it wasn't even like I was having conversations with people. It was the public that was actually my block,
How?
because because everywhere I go, I even remember I met somebody, and my friend was introducing me, talking about, okay, this is Ruva. She sings, oh, Ruva Gospaba. Like people know
Okay, so
people.
no, but then again, now Ruva, which brings me to another Ruva. There's two Ruvas, remember the last time we were playing, you and
Yes.
the other Ruva in Aussie. So how are you guys going to differentiate each other? Because she's also in now her own sound, I think more rap, right? And then you
Mhm.
was the Ganasaro goes Papa. Talk to me, my love. Talk to
Do you
me.
know what it is? For me, if you've ever seen me sing live, perform live, I think what makes me different is I very much make music being about the experience, because I have so many emotions, so many things that, like, I always say that whenever you perform or sing or exchange your gift with somebody, you are sacrificing a piece of yourself. So I always
Mm,
make it a point to really give myself. And I think that's what makes you different. That's what makes you have an audience. That's what makes you connect with people. That's how people get to know you. If you are genuine and you give a piece of yourself through your art,
mhm.
people relate to that, and then they don't forget you. They'll be like, okay, this is just Ruva. Not Ruva with Ghost Papa, but like whether she's singing Ghost Papa, whether she's singing pop or she's rapping, like, yeah, this is
And
Ruva. Like we know her energy.
how would Ruva just be singing cause Papa kuma weddings
You know?
instead of love songs and yeah. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
that is so
So I
funny.
think that's just like how you differentiate artists.
Mhm,
Like it's
mhm,
all about what you decide to give to people
mhm,
outside of the music. Like do you have a bubbly personality? Are you connecting with the crowd? You
mhm.
need to be very intentional in what you're even giving people when you're picking the songs. To be like, okay, these people, this is what's gonna get people going. Like, and I'm feeling this. We're gonna be like this, pagati inside
Party, of
together.
course. And to all our listeners, please do come through with your questions. Yes, we have questions here, but if you have other questions that we haven't asked Miss Ruva, please do come through so we can ask her. Back to Miss Ruva again. Congratulations on the new single, "Better." For those who haven't listened to it, yo, guys,
Yeah, do better and listen to it.
akakapira sina una even told nigga, your song inopera sina order. Like, what the hell? So who wrote the song? What
Hmm.
inspired the writing?
Hmm.
And yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I don't know, for people who know and who don't know, my journey starts with a man called McDonald Chidawa. If you know him,
Of course. Yeah, from gospel
anybody
to
who knows
now.
McDonald, and if you know
Mhm,
him at a personal level and you've hung out with him and you've even gone with him in the studio, you know that he's a very unserious individual. I know he's gonna cuss me for saying this, but
mhm.
he's a very unserious individual. So that's who I started my music
Oh, you
journey
said
with.
unserious individual.
He's very unserious
Saka,
because when I
You're not
no
serious.
because
Saka
this
ndinondokwanisa kuendaga ndonotamba majokes namagdi ndokwanisa kubuda nealbum.
yes, because
Okay.
McD will be right there with your energy, be like, oh, Urugupenga will write a song about Kupenga Kwako, and it'll be fire. Because the way this song came out, right? So
Mhm.
he had come to Canada because he was here with a
Yeah, I
couple of other
remember for
artists
the
that were having a
concert.
concert.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were like, you know what, let's take advantage of the fact that you're here. We haven't recorded with each other since I was in Zim back in March. So let's just do a song. So we had honestly that day was a nightmare because we were supposed to start recording at 8. We recorded the song at 2 p.m. Number one, the studio we were supposed to go to, it was dicey. Then the
Mm-mm.
place that we got to didn't have the equipment that we needed. Imagine we recorded this song on a tablet and we used a little keyboard,
Mm.
computer keyboard and a mouse. And so before that, we are driving around town, and McD was like, "Ah, Shamar, kukanada muri kurarama," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And
Right.
like everywhere we were going, he was like, on TikTok or like YouTube, when you see the dads with their cameras, like
Right. Yeah.
you're just
Yeah.
like, wow. And we were just reminiscing about how, like, when we first started this music thing, when he started this music thing with me, I was like 15, 16 years old when we recorded my first song. And we were in a basement. And now we had leveled up. Like the studio we were in, it was nice. And he's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is so much better.
Yeah.
And, we went downtown, we went to a skyrise. He got to see everything. He's like, Ruva, we need to do a song about like, elevating, because it's like, look at where we were when we first started and then now we're here. Imagine, like, let's give it another 5, 10 years. Imagine where we'll be. And I was like, McDonald. He's like, trust me, we're gonna write a song about being better. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, whatever. We drove around, we went back home, we ate. It was finally time to come to do the song. So I think, I don't know what I was doing, but he was making the beat. And
Mhm.
then he's like, I
Well, of
have it.
course. Of course. He always comes
He's
with
he's
baggage.
like, what? So then he asked me, he's like, what do you want to write a song about? I was like, honestly, McDonald, I don't want to do a gospel song. And he's like, wait, what do you mean?
Huh,
And then
huh,
he's like,
when I listened to it the first time, remember when I sent you a message like 15 seconds into it? I was like,
mm,
okay, I was already dancing in the office. Papa chifura vanhu vanaisha kuti munhu ari possessed.
yeah, I told him, I was like, I don't want to write a gospel song. I just want to write a
Wow.
song that is a feel good song,
Yeah.
something that just is gonna make me feel good. I don't know what it's about, but I don't want to do a gospel song.
Yeah.
Then, okay, boom, Jack Soja. Ndiganza, ndikati, McDonald, you want me to be singing dance hall music? You want me to be Meg the Stallion? That's not who I am. He's like, no, right? You want Chingonyara? Let me cook.
You gotta love McD. You gotta love McD.
I love him. So we recorded the song, and he wrote, like, McDonald is an amazing guy. He wrote the song. He
Mhm.
wrote it in about like an hour. Then he said, "Okay, have you ever rapped before?" And I was like, "Rap?" And he's like, "Okay. I'm not gonna make you rap, but like you've never done something like this before." I was like, "Oh, whatever." So he's like, "Okay, repeat after me. Repeat after me. You say you are better, you know about me." And I was like, "I can't sing this." And he's like, "Yes, you can." I was like, "This needs somebody who's like, bossy, like a gangster type energy. Like, what do you want me to be doing?" And he's like, "It's okay. We'll just record it slowly and slowly or until you
Yeah,
get it." So we
yeah.
did it in bits and pieces. I was like, "McDonald, I can't do this." And he just kept saying, "Okay, we're studying again with more courage, with more courage." And we
Mm.
did it and we did it. And so if it really wasn't for him and just that, like, that was all him. He just brought it out of me, and then now it's like unstoppable.
Actually, you know what? This is the moment that we're actually going to play it for our listeners who tuned in right now. Kuti vanzwisise zvandiri kutaura. And I am definitely going to be playing one of your gospel songs so they can compare to it. Not right now, but as in after our interview. But right now, we're going to be playing better. Kuti munyatsonzwisisa context. Iri kutaurwa nemusikana uyu kuti zvene hanzi ndakanzi nimborepa. Kurepa, huh? From a gospel artist to. But then again, you also have gospel rappers, right? But nah,
Hmm.
listen to this song, guys, and let me know what you think. Those who tuned in, muchatiudza kuti aiwa kasonga aka kari kufaya inini ndakafairwa 15 seconds into it ndikati dude, cut, what is going on? Panje kupera kwacho ndobva ndati hakuna kana order. Kana iye MacD ndakatomuzendera message ndikati MacD, song yenyu yakangopera zvisina order kwakanaka. Please do enjoy the song and let me know what you think.
Can they hear me?
Everyone feeling is warmer, just the way I am. exactly what I was saying. Kango Peter's now old. Why get it?
We can't give you everything all at once. You guys won't be excited for the
I
album.
know. It's like, okay, when I heard that, I had to go back into the app. I was at work. I had to go back into the app. I was like, okay, did I miss something? Like that was a good one, and I got a message from one of my girls in the UK, and said everybody needs a McDonald in their life. That was a
Period.
different gospel genre. No, my love, it's not a. Yeah, yeah, what the gospel? It mean divine vibe bakujoina manje so. No, amusukuzwisisa pane nyaya panapa. Imbo yatsovaudza Ruva, aiwa kunzizvone hanzi that's a different gospel song.
Guys, I'm a work in progress, but I'm doing my best.
Yes.
Despite what you say, talking about my business. Excuse me, what are we? You guys were not listening to the song. That's how I know. You need to go back and listen to it. Do better and
Yeah,
listen.
yeah, yeah. So
But
when I was listening to it, which I believe a lot of people would also have the same question, we were talking about authenticity. We're talking about growing into your own sound, from gospel to finding your own sound, and this is what you found. Let's start with, what genre is this? Can we put it under dance hall, urban grooves? We know MacD is famous for urban grooves and R&B. So what can we put it under?
do you know, I don't know what to put it under because I just think that this song is a very uplifting, it's
Mhm,
a motivational song because when I listen to it, I literally just want to get up and go and do something. Like I feel
mhm,
like so pumped up. So
mhm.
I don't know what I would label it as. Feel good? Is there a genre like that? Feel good music, because that's the type of music I want to make. Whether it's gospel, whether
Right.
it's whatever, I just want people to feel good.
Good.
So can
Okay.
I create my own genre?
You can. You certainly can. How did people come up with Zoom dancehall?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I will just give you a good example. Like, we don't want to get into that. I'm a creator of vocabulary. So hold on.
hmm
You can create your own genre. Go ahead. Go ahead and create
I
your own
think I think I'm under the category of feel good.
good.
Cause
Feel
didn't
good
that
music.
make you
No,
feel
feel good
good?
music is there. Feel good music is there. It is actually there. But then again, I was still saying this is the first part of the question. The second part
Mhm.
of the question, somebody would ask, yes, you may have like feel good. It may be a feel good type of song. It may have been, something that was just written randomly, you know, fun stuff. But one would actually sit down and think, some of the lyrics, you know, you don't know me. Like, awujikisa dzomba kwangu. You
Exactly.
understand? Exactly. So when I was listening to it, it's like, okay, is this personal? Is this so? If I am thinking that, you understand, I am a radio DJ where we analyze some of the songs and we're like, is this personal? Is this so? That's why I had to ask first who wrote the song, what inspired the writing, and what inspired you to sing it, and is there a certain truth to it? In the sense, Yahuti, how can I put it? When I say truth to it, is it like something that you've experienced in your life for you to say, you know what? Awujikisa wangu saka, you have no right. You understand? And so I don't know if you get where my question is going.
Okay, do you know
Yeah.
what's crazy? This last week I've been listening to it a lot and I thought maybe do people think this is a diss track? So like it's like
It
because this is
feels
what
like
I
it.
listen to,
It
it
feels like
sounds
you're
like a diss
actually
track.
literally saying Amujikisa wangu. You understand? Like,
But do you know what's crazy?
yeah,
Honestly, the reason why I felt so connected to the lyrics and why I feel like
yeah.
honestly McD and I were here is because before any studio session or even during the studio session, McD and I really talk about like life and like what's going on with me and
Mhm,
like what I'm going through, where I've been since he last saw me, since we last spoke, and we
mhm,
keep up in that way. So I feel like he kind of knows the things that I'm going through. And one of the major things that I was really focused on this year. I wrote down 10 things I wanted to accomplish. And
mhm,
one of them was like to reclaiming my identity is kind of a theme of this year. So
mhm,
yeah, to be honest, like kumba kwedu, and like I feel like a lot of people have an idea of who Ruva is, like you said. Like
mhm,
there's two Ruvas, there's people know me in my personal relationship and public and whatnot. So I just really want people to know, Kuti, this is me, but you guys only get a glimpse of me on the internet or in the songs or when you see me in the community, but you don't really know who I am, and you can't label me or judge me or expect me to be something that I'm not, because realistically, I'm still working on myself. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying, and we all can do the same thing. If we all just stuck in our lanes and focused on ourselves, I think we'd be good. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think it just goes with the theme of like the year that I'm having of really reclaiming my identity and getting my house in order, you know?
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
wow. You guys, you've just heard it for yourself. I hope your question has been answered, because that was my $1 million question. That's the honest truth. When I listened to it, I was like, okay, what is going on? And even since I've moved, we've kind of distanced a little bit. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on in your life. You don't know what's going on in my life. As my little sister, So it's one of those where I was listening to it. Okay, I hope she's okay. I hope, and then like literally to me, like the whole song literally says you know. And I'm like, okay, this
But do you know what it
corporation.
is? And this is what I was saying from
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
I felt like before I couldn't really express myself through
yourself,
music. It
yeah,
had to be like
yeah.
the constant same theme. But now you guys are gonna hear every single little bit of everything about
No,
me
we're
through these
waiting for it. And my friend from England who was saying good is Auntie, that's a different gospel genre. She ended up saying good. It sounds like Afro Mangoma feel good. It's like, I don't know if you
hmm
want to create a genre, it's Afro Mangoma feel good.
Honestly, I might take it.
Kwakakreatwa Afrobeats, kukakreatwa amapiano, kukakreatwa zim dancehall, kukakreatwa urban grooves. You understand? So why do
Mm.
you not create Afro Mangoma feel good?
Do you
Huh?
know what? I'm gonna sign a petition so that next time I upload a song,
Uh-huh.
Spotify has to give me that as a genre.
No, you can, yeah, protest. It's also sort of a hashtag. You're always laughing at my hashtags on status. Please leave me with my hashtags. I talk about that one.
No, but the hashtag that they need to be using is hashtag do better.
Yes, hashtag do better, baby. So there's more. Auntie love the reclaiming her identity narrative. Right up my street, honey. Right up my
Period.
street. This is my girl who's based in the UK. Hans, I love the reclaiming of your identity. And this is an author who wrote Identity Crisis and eventually wrote actually I have the book, another one. Oh yeah, there you go. Mindset change. Right. So this is the author who's actually talking nonsense. I love that. I love that. I love that because of
No, because
wow.
life is literally about changing your perspective, and
Mhm,
like the mind frame that you're in determines,
mhm,
how you conduct yourself around other people, how
mhm,
you chase your dreams. So like if
mhm,
you refuse to change your perspective or
mhm,
be in a mindset that makes you happy, whatever doing better is to you, if
mhm,
you're not in that mindset, there's no progress. There's no, what are we
mhm.
on earth for?
Exactly, exactly. Our guys, I can do better, better.
Better, better.
Hey! All right, on a more lighter note, since the last time you came here, in that my new celebrity crush, who's your celebrity crush? On a more lighter note, exactly what of Muromo kana niwoga kana nini. In that over pfungwa dzangu.
Are you allowed do you know what? Lately, I don't know. I don't have a celebrity crush. I have an actual crush, so I don't really think about
Celebrities and
celebrities.
crushes.
My man is my celebrity.
Ooh, Menza, are you tuned in, Menza? Decided
He's
to take out
tuned
Mazda.
in. He's
But oh,
tuned
he's
in.
tuned in. Oh, tawana commenta kuti fire. They got okay, fire. You're gonna be tuned in as late as it is right now. No, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I hope you guys are enjoying the interview. But before we log off, what has been your most? I know this year has had quite a lot of beautiful things happen and memorable moments. But what was that highlight of a memorable moment about this year in your career so far?
I think my birthday, honestly. So for my 25th
I knew
birthday,
it.
once
I
again,
knew
I
it.
wrote no. Because, do you know what? When I wrote this list of 10 things I really wanted to accomplish in 2023,
Uh,
I was in a really dark place, but I was like, you know what? They say that
nice.
you need to practice doing these things. I was like, you know what? Let me just write 10 things, and a
Mm,
lot of them seemed really like radical at that time. Like,
mm,
I'm not gonna be able to do this, but whatever. I'm just gonna write it. So I said, for
mm.
my 25th birthday, I want to do a live show. I want to do something that I love. I don't want to go to the
And
club.
I was
I don't
literally
want to go
waiting
to
for that
dinner.
day. I was waiting for that day. I was tired of seeing you being a VB. I'm like, no, no, no. You're not a VB. Like, what are you doing? Like, mm-mm.
I know I was busy singing for other people, so I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me just do my own birthday show. And so being able to do that for myself was so like I felt like I was healing my inner child. Like I really felt really good because, you know, I sang everything from gospel to throwbacks to love songs to feel good songs. Like it was just everything that Trurarasha has been throughout 25 years in
Mm,
like 45 minutes. And so I felt like that was my greatest accomplishment because I was doing something that was pleasing not only to me but unto the Lord, and it
mm,
served the people who were there. So I
mm.
felt very happy inside. So
And
yeah.
then you're like 25, and I'm thinking, geez, I started knowing you when you were 13. What does
I
that
feel like
say?
such a mbuya Jamwari. To all the people who are older than 25, the real mbuyas, but I feel like a young mbuya.
Na ujikisa dzamba kwangu wekera.
Am I gonna get canceled for saying that?
Oh,
I'm
you
so
are
sorry.
gonna get cancelled. We're in the cancel culture, my love.
I'm gonna
We're in
be.
the
What are they
cancel
gonna label
culture.
me as? An ageist? Is that what it's called when you discriminate against people's age, ageist or whatever? I don't know what they call it.
Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. But thank you so much, Ruva. This has been a pleasure having you here and just ending with a bang. But before we go, what is your best way to unwind on such a, this year has been so busy and having, a highlight on your birthday, having your own show and all that fun stuff, coming up with a new single that's banging and, all of that fun stuff. Wapedza zvese izvozvo, how do you sit down and say, whew, okay, this is me time?
Honestly, I go to my trusty little lady, Asian lady named um Lily, and she does these. I go and I get my feet scrubbed. I get my cuticles cut. A new little
Okay.
set. That is actually like my favorite thing. Like I don't feel normal if I don't at least do it once a month because I
Right.
just feel like genuinely I'm doing something, even though it may be small. Just taking care of myself in that way makes me feel good. So that's how I just
Exactly. Self care. What do you call
yeah.
it? They call it grooming, right? And they
Yes,
say, oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
I'm
yes.
just going for a grooming session. And right now, you
Yeah.
look like you're actually going for a grooming session. Like,
I'm going to bed.
we don't get kakiti, like, eh?
Come on.
I don't want you answer. I don't want you answer. Yeah, this is my payback. This is my payback, my love. But anyway, thank you so much, Ruva. Any last words to share with your listeners, with our listeners up here? Kuti zvoti, "Aye, waenda munotera music yangu wakati, munondiwana pakati, kuti munzwe the gospel Ruva and the now Ruva and all that fun stuff."
Okay, so I mean, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is ruva.muts. I do little daily vlogs. The other day, I was teaching people how to make sadzanemriwo.
I saw
Um,
that one. I saw that one. It just reminded me of me and my oxtail videos.
exactly. So you can find me there, and then you
Mhm,
can find me on Facebook.
mhm,
Just search Ruva, and
mhm.
then on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere you can just search Ruva, and you'll
But
be
then
able to
there's
find
two
me.
Ruvas. Remember, I was telling you there's one in
Oh
Australia.
no, no,
Yeah.
my picture. I'm the cute girl in the white dress going like this. Or you'll see me. You'll see my smile wherever. Everything. You'll see my gap.
Yeah.
Pamnona gap yangu pa my album covers. Mnozoti ya. Ndoro
Yeah,
awat.
I'm actually getting
Mm.
my teeth made done.
Are you actually?
Uh-huh.
But that's your smile. That's who you are.
That's exactly what my mom keeps saying. She's like, "Oh my gosh, what if he changes your smile?"
But
I
yeah. That's where people can find me.
So guys, check I'm kind of a gip. I think I just second like I figured this.
Exactly. Find me.
Find
Find me.
her. No,
Do
Mr.
better and
So
find
my
me.
my friend Anthony, when she mentioned lovely Asian lady, I just remembered you going to do your lashes. Because every time I'm going to get my lashes, I'm always on the phone with her. And then she's like, we're actually on, what do you call it, FaceTime. And she's like, yeah,
Eh.
so it's a camera.
Vanogona kuita zvese izvozvo kana muchida kugadziriswa tuma face items
No, but sometimes
tumazvaranzvara.
they fall off because they fall off. So when she's on FaceTime, she's watching so that they actually do it
Oh,
proper,
they don't follow.
so that they don't fall off. She's like, "Nyanzoisa kamera yako tiitiko nyatsoona kuti ari kuita zvakanaka ere." And I'll be having yeah, she's my homie. She's pamoyo pangu. So she's always there, man. And then I tell them one day, kuti guys, this woman does her eyelashes every 2 days. Ah, she's being dramatic anyway. I jump into nyans. I get takutenda kuma lashes. I'm going to tinge tichiti shout out kuna Ruva panapa. Anyway. Anyway, Miss Ruva, thank you so much for coming through. And it's always a pleasure having you through where we always crack jokes. And
Thank
right
you
now,
for
let's do
having
your
me.
song, Namagdi. That's what
Daitatu iwe 42 minutes.
Yamalashi
Daitaturova zio. Nema BVs zvese nema instruments ese twaba. Kwa
Twaba.
kwa kwa kwa. Single out. Amanda, urikutamba iwewe. Urikutamba.
What do you call it? What do you?
Ndati urikutamba.
And Gutamba. I gosh, Amanda. Okay. Anyway, my love, thank you so much. I am going to let you go, and definitely we're going to be playing you your song right about now for those who've never heard it or never listened to it. Since my friend was like, "Oh yeah, the gospel Ruva, Gawambo mira vambonzwa inonzi better," and there's more. Actually, you've been awfully quiet, like we mentioned earlier on. When should we expect another kite? Because I told her got another 2-3 years. Can I?
Give me until springtime because imimi vanhu imimi munonetsa hamudi nziyo chete munenge muchida mavidhiyo nemachichichichichi haiwa mari zvinenge zvakawanda, so give me until spring.
Oh, no, we'll definitely do that. And a shout out to Ruva. Keep going, honey. This is from my friend all the way in the UK. Thank you so much, Shigi, for chatting in and, for supporting our girl. I am going to be playing you the song, the new single by the talented Ruva entitled Better. Let's go and support our sister, Spotify, Apple Music. Are we going to get something on YouTube soon?
There is something on YouTube. The video for Better is out.
Oh, it is actually out, guys. Oh, actually, I saw it's kind of Papa ne Blazer. Okay,
Don't
yeah.
want to blazer. Shout out to Lolo D.
Oh,
Shout out
I
to
know,
Lolo
guys.
D.
So can I get that one? Because yeah, you know me and
No.
color.
Yeah. No.
Now we ain't doing my no. You and me are one. We're not doing that.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, my love, I will see you next week, and thank you so much for tuning in.
See you. Bye.
All right, love you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
Do better. Listen to my song.
Definitely we're going to be playing it right now. For those who are actually tuning in right now, we were actually hanging out with the talented Miss Ruva, who's actually based in Edmonton, Alberta. And by the way, we've seen her perform live at weddings, at so many events. Actually, Ruva, before you go, you're going to be performing next week with Miller Freak.
No.
Oh man. Well, she's going all solo and then my BV. Anyway, guys. Period. Anyway, Mr. Roy, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure and an honor having you through. But yeah, this is the new track by Ruva entitled Better. Please do enjoy.